Have you ever been in this situation? You have a dream, a goal, something you've wanted to do for a long time, but you keep putting it off. And you think, I'm not ready yet. I'm not skilled enough. I don't have enough money, knowledge, or connections. And then today passes, this week passes, this year turns into the next, while your dream is still there, but you've never really started. This isn't just your story. Many of us share the same habit, waiting for the perfect time. We think we start when we be more skilled, when we have more experience, when we save enough money, or when we finally have free time. But here ran the harsh truth, there will never be a perfect time. Life is always full of obstacles and reasons to delay. If you keep waiting, you will end up waiting your whole life. The book Start Where You Are, Learn to Work with What You Have sends a powerful message. Start right where you are, with what you have. You don't need to have everything before you take the first step. You don't need to be the perfect version of yourself to get started. What you need is simply that very first small step. Imagine this. Someone wants to climb the tallest mountain in the world. If they stand at the base thinking, I need the best climbing gear, I need superhuman strength, I need a huge support team, they might never start. But the greatest climbers all began with a normal first step. That very first step is what matters most, not expensive shoes or 10 years of experience. Similarly, every major success in the world starts from something small. Steve Jobs started his company in his parents' garage. Oprah Winfrey began as a poor African-American girl who endured many hardships. J.K. Rowling wrote the first pages of Harry Potter in a small cafe while struggling to make ends meet. None of them waited until they had everything. They started where they were and they worked with what they had. You might be thinking, but my situation is different. I really lack so much. I have nothing to start with. I want you to pause for a moment and reflect. Is it really true that you have nothing? You have time. Even if it's just 15 minutes a day. You have intelligence, skills, and life experiences that no one else has. You have a phone or computer with internet access, top 10 proof you are watching this video. With that alone, you already have enough to begin. What you need is 2 more conditions. It's a decision to take action. Remember, perfection is the enemy of progress. If you keep waiting for everything to be perfect, you would never move forward. But if you dare to start today, even with just a small action, you will already gone much further than those who are still waiting. In this video, we will explore how to turn the philosophy of start where you are into practical action. I will share with you the foundational mindset, concrete steps, and inspiring stories of people who started from zero, but went on to achieve extraordinary success. Most importantly, I want to help you see that you already have enough to start right now. So put aside thoughts like, I'm not ready or I don't have enough. Allow yourself to believe that at this very moment, right where you are, you can embark on a new journey. And if you're ready, let's go through this video together. By the end, I'm confident you would find the motivation to truly start. Not tomorrow, not next week, but right now. Part 1. Foundational mindset. When it comes to starting something new, most of us face an invisible wall, the mindset of fear and procrastination. You want to learn a new skill, open a small business, change careers, or simply take better care of your health. But then a voice in your head whispers, it's not the right time yet. I'm not good enough. Others have better resources. I have nothing. These thoughts may seem reasonable, but in reality, they're mental handcuffs holding you back. Before we talk about concrete actions, we need to remove those handcuffs. And to do that, you must first understand the foundational mindset, the way you perceive yourself, your circumstances, and the so-called perfect time. 1. Why do we wait for the perfect time? People often have the illusion that they can only start when everything is truly ready. Money, health, time, confidence. But the truth is, the perfect time does exist. Have you noticed this? When you're young, you think, I will start when I have more experience. When you grow older, you think, I will start when I have more money. When you finally have money, you complain, I'm too busy now. I don't have time. And when you finally have time, you fear you're too old to begin. This vicious cycle keeps repeating. It's like a train that's always ready to depart but never actually leaves the station. Many psychological studies call this fear of failure procrastination. We don't wait for the perfect time because we truly believe it will come. Wait because we want to avoid the possibility of failure. If I don't stop, I can't top file. It sounds reasonable, but in reality, it's your brain protecting you from discomfort and at the same time keeping you trapped in your comfort zone. 2. Compares, the enemy of starting. Another reason it's hard to start is comparing yourself to others. You scroll through social media, see friends succeeding, younger people driving fancy cars, owning homes, and building brilliant careers, while you both still taking your first steps, and you think, I'm not as good as them, so what's the point of starting? But here and an important truth, comparison is always a trap. You were seeing them in chapter 10 of their life story while you were in chapter 1. If you compare your chapter 1 to someone else in chapter 10, you will always feel inadequate. There is a great saying, don't to compare your birthday to someone else's spotlight. The birthday is messy, difficult, and challenging. A spotlight only shows the glamorous, perfect part. If you keep staring at someone else, their stage lights, and forget they also started clumsily, you would lose your own opportunity. 3. Perfect is the enemy of progress. The philosopher Voltaire once said, perfect is the enemy of good. This means, if you wait until everything is perfect to start, you would stay stuck in the same place. Meanwhile, those who dare to act, try, and fail are the ones who truly make progress. For example, say you want to write a book. If you wait until you have the perfect idea, enough free time, a perfectly quiet environment, and an extensive vocabulary, you might never write the first page. But if you simply sit down and write 500 words a day, clumsily, imperfectly, after a year, you would have a complete manuscript. Success does to come from perfection. Success comes from continuous progress. 4. Scarcity mindset versus abundance mindset. One of the most important mindset shifts you need is moving from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset. A scarcity mindset says, I don't have enough. I lack money, time, skills, or luck. An abundance mindset says, I already have what I need to start. I can learn and grow along the way. I don't need everything right now. The difference is clear. A scarcity mindset keeps you stuck, while an abundance mindset allows you to take action. Think about a runner. If they think, I don't have good enough shoes, I'm not fit enough to run a marathon right now, they beat never start. But if they think I have a regular pair of shoes, I can run 1 kilometer today, 2 kilometers tomorrow. In a few months, they will be ready to run long distances. 5. Growth mindset instead of fear of mistakes. Another major barrier is the fear of making mistakes. We often tie our self-worth to our results. If I fail, I'm worthless. If I make a mistake, I'm not good enough. But in reality, mistakes are an essential part of learning. This is called a growth mindset. People with this mindset believe failure doesn't to define them in just data, to help them adjust and move forward. Thomas Edison once said, I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that want to work. Thanks to this mindset, he invented the light bulb. If Edison had feared mistakes, we might still be living in the dark. 6. Key, reflection, and gratitude. Another foundational mindset that makes starting easier is gratitude. When you appreciate what you already have, you realize you already have enough to begin. Gratitude for your health, for the people supporting you, for opportunities to learn. All of this transforms your current situation from lacking to enough. And when you feel you have enough, you gain the courage to take action. 7. Summary of foundational mindset. To truly start where you are, you need to shift these 5 core mindsets. Let go of the illusion of the perfect time. It never comes, and you don't need it to start. Stop comparing yourself to others. You're on your own journey, and the only comparison that matters is with yourself yesterday. Embrace imperfection. Progress matters more than perfection. Shift it from scarcity to abundance. You already have enough to start. See failure as a lesson. Mistakes are in. Top the end. They're valuable data. Once you master these functional mindsets, every step after becomes much easier. You stop seeing the world through a lens of not enough and start seeing it through the eyes of someone ready to learn, act, and improve every single day. Part 2. Start from the present. In the previous section, we talked about the truth that the perfect time does to exist and that the biggest barriers are actually in our own mindset. But the next question is, if you start right where you are, how do you start? It sounds simple, but turning it into action requires a clear road. And the first step is not to go out searching for more than to look back at what you already have. The concept of start where you are. Start where you are means don't wait for ideal conditions. Don't wish for a different starting point. Don't dream of a perfect future version of yourself. Or, instead, use your current self with your current resources and circumstances to take the smallest possible step forward. Think of it this way. A seed does to wait for the richest soil, the best fertilizer, or perfect sunlight to sprout. It starts with just a little soil, a little water, and a little light. And because it starts, it has the chance to grow bigger, reach higher, and go further. You can do the same. Exercise. Vintene. Chep take stop of what you have. Grab a notebook or open your phone and answer these 3 questions. 1. What skills do you have? You might be good at writing, know a bit about technology, or simply have the ability to listen well. Don't underestimate small skills. They can become the foundation for a new journey. 2. What resources do you have? You have a computer, a phone, and internet access. You have friends, colleagues, or family who can give advice or provide emotional or practical support. You have time, you just 30 minutes a day. 3. What experiences do you have? The failures and challenges you've faced are valuable life capital that others don't have. Remember, sometimes experiences that seem like disadvantages can become precious assets if you know how to use them. When you write these things down, you will realize you are not starting from zero. You have more than you think, and that's why you can start right now. The just one step principles. Start small. When thinking about starting, many people make it harder on themselves by imagining the entire long journey. For example, you want to write a book and immediately think about 300 pages. You want to lose weight and immediately think about intense work and strict diets. You want to start a business and immediately think about needing a large investment and a perfect strategy. But in reality, you only need one small step. Writing a book, start with 200 words a day. Losing weight, start with a 10-minute walk each morning. Starting a business, start by researching the market or testing a small product. The important thing is not how much you achieve immediately, but that you build momentum to keep going. Like a rolling ball, the first step may be the hardest, but once it's in moving, inertia carries you further. Turn limitations into advantages. Many people think they can't upstart because they lack resources. But if you look at history, many great creations came from scarcity. Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak started Apple in a garage, not a fancy office. J.K. Rowling wrote Harry Potter in a cafe because she could have afford heating at home. Nick Vujicic, born without arms and legs, became an inspirational speaker for millions. Lack of resources is not a reason to stop. Scarcity forces creativity and problem solving. And that creativity is what makes the difference. Start today. A practical habit. Try this exercise right now. Think of a goal you've always wanted to achieve but haven't started. Write down the smallest action you can take today to move closer to that goal. Want to write a book? Write a short paragraph or even just an outline. Want to learn a language? Learn 5 new words. Want to start a business? Post 1 product on social media. Do it right after watching this video. You would be surprised how just one small action can break long-standing procrastination. The compound effect mindset. Therein a principle you must always remember. Small actions, when repeated, create massive results. Save $2 a day. You might think it's a nothing. But after a year, that's over $700. After 10 years, nearly $7,000, not counting interest if invested. Learn 5 new English words a day. After a year, over 1,800 words. Enough for basic conversation. Write 200 words a day. After a year, that's 73,000 words, the length of a novel. Never underestimate small steps. They are the foundation for great achievements. Embrace initial clumsiness. Another reason people hesitate to start is fear of being bad, making mistakes, or being laughed at. But remember, every master was once a beginner. Famous guitarists struggled with basic chords. Olympic athletes trained clumsily as children. Great speakers trembled holding a microphone for the first time. There are no sure paths to mastery. You can only become skilled if you dare to start. Embrace being awkward and keep going. Part bar. Turning barriers into opportunity. Saying start from the present sounds simple, but in reality it's not easy. Everyone has barriers that make them hesitate, fear, and procrastinate. These barriers usually fall into 5 common types: lack of capital, lack of knowledge, lack of time, lack of confidence, and lack of support. The great news is, each barrier can be turned into an opportunity if you look at it from a different perspective. Let's break down each one. Barrier. Lack of capital. Many people believe that to start, you need a lot of money. Want to open a store? You need a big investment. Want to create content? You need expensive equipment. Want to invest? You need huge capital. And because you think you don't have enough money, you stop before you even start. But remember, many successful entrepreneurs started from nothing. Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak started Apple in a garage with very little money. Howard Schultz sailed of Starbucks, grew up in a poor family and started with just a few $1,000s in loans. In Vietnam, many stock began in small rooms with just a laptop and belief. In fact, lack of capital forces creativity. When you don't have much money, you learn to use resources wisely, cut unnecessary costs, and focus on core value instead of flashy extras. Lesson: don't wait for money to start. Start as small as you can with what you have. Action creates cash flow, not the other way around. Barrier: lack of knowledge. Many people think, I'm not skilled enough, I don't have a degree, I don't have a certificate. So they wait until they study more or gain more knowledge before daring to start. But the truth is, the most effective learning happens while doing. Mark Zuckerberg didn't wait to graduate from Harvard to build Facebook. He started from his dorm room. Elon Musk taught himself about rockets by reading books. He didn't have a formal aerospace degree. Many freelancers, YouTubers, coders, and designers around the world learn online and succeed through practice more than certificates. Today, knowledge is at your fingertips. Books, YouTube, online courses. You don't need to know everything to start. You just need to know enough to take the first step, and along the way you will learn more and improve. Lesson: lack of knowledge is not a reason to start. Use it as motivation to learn while taking action. Barrier: lack of time. One of the most common reasons is, I'm too busy. You have a full-time job, a family, social responsibilities. You think, how can I start a new project when my schedule is already full? The reality is, no one has extra time. Successful people have the same 24 hours a day as you do. The difference lies in how they pro. You don't need 8 hours a day to start. You just need 30 minutes or even 50 minutes each day. Write one page of a book. Learn 5 new vocabulary words. Exercise for 20 minutes. Research a business idea. These are small actions, but if you maintain them consistently, after 1 year you will see a huge difference. Lesson: time doesn't magically appear. You have to create it by cutting meaningless habits. Scrolling social media, watching TV excessively, and replacing them with small but meaningful actions. Barrier: lack of confidence. Many people don't start because they think, I'm not good enough. But herein the truth: confidence isn't something you were born with, built through action. The first time you ride a bike, you were wobbly, but after a few falls, you learn to ride steadily. The first time you give a presentation, you were nervous, but after a few attempts, you feel more comfortable. The first time you shoot a YouTube video, you may be awkward, but with persistence, you become more natural. Confidence comes from experience, by daring to act, daring to make mistakes, and learning from them. The more you do, the more confident you become. Lesson: don't wait to be confident before you start. Start taking action, and confidence will follow. Barrier: lack of support. This is a major mental barrier. Nobody believes in you or supports you. Sometimes even family or friends may oppose your ideas. They fear failure, they fear risk. But remember, true support comes after you show action. At first, people may doubt you, but as you persist and achieve results, see small ones, you'll gradually earn recognition. Oprah Winfrey was once fired from her first TV job because her boss thought she was too suited for television. Today, she's one of the most powerful TV hosts in the world. Walt Disney was once fired from a newspaper for lacking creativity. Later, he founded an entire entertainment empire. Lesson: you don't need everyone's support from the start. Believe in yourself and find a few allies touching enough to get going. Turning barriers into opportunities. So, if you look at it positively, barriers are actually opportunities to grow and develop. Lack of capital, you learn creativity and cost optimization. Lack of knowledge, you develop a habit of continuous learning. Lack of time, you learn time management and pronunciation. Lack of confidence, you practice courage and persistence. Lack of support, you learn self-belief and how to find a new community. In other words, barriers are exercises that make you stronger. Without them, you would develop real strength. Part 4. Step-by-step practice. In the previous sections, we talked a lot about foundational mindset and why you don't need to wait for perfection. You should start right where you are. But you were probably still asking yourself, specifically, where do I start? What should I do step by step? This is exactly what I want to share with you today. A step-by-step road to turn the start where you are philosophy into real action. Not just theory, but things you can do starting today, no matter who you are, where you are, or how many resources you have. Think of this part as a map, guiding you from your current starting point to a clearer future. Step 1. Face the press honestly. Assess what you have. The first thing you need to do is to look at others. Then to look at yourself. Ask yourself, what do I already have in my hands? What skills, knowledge, or connections can I leverage? How much free time do I have each day? What tools or equipment can support this goal? Write everything down. It sounds simple, but most of us never take 15 minutes to list it clearly. For example, if you want to start an online business, you might realize you already have a phone, a social media account, and some basic skills in photography or writing. That alone is enough to start a small shop on Facebook or TikTok. Mini exercise. Right after watching this part, grab a notebook or open your notes app and write a list called What I Already Have. You will be surprised to see that you are not as empty-handed as you think. Step 2. Set clear but realistic goals. Many people fail at the very beginning because they set vague goals. I want to succeed. I want to be rich. I want to be happier. These phrases sound nice, but they don't guide specific action. Instead, set a clear and realistic goal using the SMART framework. Specific, I want to increase my online income by $200 per month. Measurement, so you can know whether you've achieved it. Achievable, don't aim for $100,000 in your first month. Realistic, based on the resources you currently have. Time-bound, I want to achieve this within 3 months. When you know exactly where you want to go, you want to feel lost or overwhelmed. Mini exercise, write down one specific goal you want to achieve in the next 30 days. Just one, don't try to do too much at once. Step 3. Break your goal into daily actions. This is the difference between dreamers and doers. A big goal can feel overwhelming, but breaking it into daily actions makes it much more achievable. Examples. Goal. Write a 100-page essay. Small action. Write 1 page per day. In 100 days you have a full draft. Goal. Lose 5 kilograms in 2 months. Small action. Walk 30 minutes daily. Drink an extra 500 milliliters of water. Cut 1 soda a day. Instead of asking, how can I climb this entire mountain? Ask, what small brick can I lay today? Mini exercise. After setting your goal in step 2, write down 3 small actions you can take today to get closer to it. Step 4. Use what you already have instead of waiting for what you don't need. Many people get stuck thinking, I need a fancy computer to make videos, or I need a big budget to start a business. The truth is, most successful people started with extremely limited tools. Casey Neistat, one of the most famous YouTubers, started filming with an old camera. Some major fashion brands began by selling hand-printed t-shirts from their bedrooms. Many TikTok channels with millions of views only use a mid-range phone. The message, don't blame your tools. Be creative with what you already have. Mini exercise. Write down 3 things you can use right now. This could be a skill, a simple device, or even a connection, Step 5. Build consistent habits instead of waiting for inspiration. You can't rely on inspiration every day. Inspiration comes and goes, but habits keep you moving forward. Make your goal part of your daily routine. Schedule it like brushing your teeth or eating meals. Examples. Want to write a book? Set a fixed 30-minute writing slot each morning. Want to exercise? Schedule runs with a friend for accountability. Mini exercise. Choose one small action and attach it to a daily habit. Example. Every night before bed, I will write 3 lines about today's progress. Gombe. Step 6. Learn through action instead of waiting to know everything. A big reason people procrastinate is thinking they need to learn everything first. The truth, action is the fastest way to learn. To want to learn video making, start filming and posting, and learn from feedback. Want to learn business? Try selling a few small products before reading 20 books. Want to improve writing, blog or post daily? Progress comes naturally. The earlier you act, the faster you learn. Mini exercise. Think of a skill you want to improve today. Find one way to practice immediately instead of just studying theory. Step 7. Celebrate small wins. On a long journey, focusing only on the final goal can be discouraging. Recognizing small wins keeps your motivation alive. Wrote 10 pages, celebrate. Lost the first 1 kilogram, celebrate. Got your first 10 customers, celebrate. These small successes not only energize you, but also reinforce the belief, I can do this. Mini exercise. Write down 3 small milestones you will celebrate along your journey. Step 8. Accept mistakes and failures as natural. Don't fear failure. Failure is simply a faster way to learn. Remember, No one succeeds without stumbling. Thomas Edison failed over 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. If he had seen each failure as the end, the world would be very different. Treat mistakes as valuable data. Every failure teaches you one way that does the work and brings you closer to what does. Mini exercise. Think of a recent failure. Instead of blaming yourself, write down 3 things you learned from it. Step 9. Connect and seek support. You don't have to go it alone. Find like-minded people who can encourage you, support you, or simply remind you to keep going. This could be a friend, an online community, or a mentor you trust. Collective support can help you go much further than you could on your own. Mini exercise. Today, share your goal with at least one trusted person. By speaking it out loud, you've already made a commitment to yourself. Step 10. Remember, the journey matters more than the destination. Finally, remember that success is too just about reaching the final goal. Success also lies in the process, your persistence, your learning, and your growth day by day. If you keep waiting for the perfect moment, you will miss out on the beautiful journey itself. But if you start today, you will discover joy in every step you take. Part 5. The power of persistence. Have you noticed that starting something is often easier than maintaining it long term? Many of us start projects, habits, or plans with excitement. The first week, we were full of energy. By week 2, motivation starts to fade. And by week 3, even a small challenge can make many people give up. This is why the world is full of starters but short on finishers. It yen not because they lack talent. It yen not because they lack opportunity. It yen because they lack persistence. 1. Persist, the secret few. Talk about success is often associated with flashy words like breakthrough, ideas, natural talent, or perfect timing. But if you look closer at real success stories, you will see persistence is the key factor. Thomas Edison once said, "Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration." He failed over 10,000 times before inventing the practical electric light bulb. If he had given up on failure, number 99 or number 999, the world would be very different. Walt Disney, before founding the world, then most famous animation empire, was fired by several newspapers for being unimaginative and uncreative. Yet he persisted with his dream and eventually turned Mickey Mouse into a global icon. What do these great people have in common? It is not that their paths were easy. It is not that they had every resource from the start. It is that they had something most people lack. They persisted all the way. 2. Persistence matters more than motivation. Many people confuse motivation with persistence. Motivation is like a bright burning flame, powerful but easily extinguished. Persistence, on the other hand, is like glowing embers, steady, long-lasting, and able to keep you going through the long haul. When you start something, motivation gives you the initial spark, but when challenges arise, it's your persistence that keeps you moving forward. Think about exercising. During the first week, you may feel excited to run every morning. By week 3, on a rainy day, tired or busy, it's easy to skip. Motivation is gone, but persistence, the belief that I need to do this, whether I feel like it or not, keeps the habit alive. 3. The power of small, repeated steps. There is a crucial concept called a compound effect. It means that small actions, repeated consistently over time, create massive results. For example, reading 30 minutes a day adds up to over 180 hours in a year, equivalent to 4 to 5 in-depth courses. Writing just 1 page a day results in a 365-page book in a year. The lesson: you don't need to do extraordinary things. Just do small actions consistently, and persistence will turn small steps into big results. 4. The 3 John formula for persistence. To stay persistent, apply the 3 John. Discipline. Don't wait for inspiration. Set a fixed schedule. For example, write every morning or exercise every afternoon. When discipline becomes a habit, you don't need massive motivation to continue. Dedication. Know your why. When you understand the deeper reason you started, you gain the strength to keep going even when things get tough. Determination. Maintain a never give up attitude. When obstacles appear, instead of thinking, "I can't," think, "I will find another way to keep going." 5. Failure is not the end. One of the biggest enemies of persistence is failure. We often think failure means the end, but in reality, failure is just part of the journey. Persistent people don't fear failure. They see every failure as a lesson and an opportunity to grow. How many times you fall doesn't matter. What matters is how many times you get back up. Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player of all time, said, "I will missed over 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I was trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life, and that's why I succeed. If you learn to view failure as part of the process, giving up becomes much harder. 6. How to build persistence in daily life. Start small. Don't try to change your entire life overnight. Stick to one small habit, like drinking enough water daily or journaling for 5 minutes. Mastering small habits makes bigger goals easier to tackle. Track progress. Record what you accomplish each day. A notebook, app, or simple checklist helps you see improvement. Feeling like you are moving forward is a powerful motivator for persistence. Create a supportive environment. Find a group with similar goals or a partner to encourage and hold you accountable. People are weaker alone, stronger with a supportive community. Reward yourself. Celebrate small milestones. This teaches your brain to associate persistence with joy, not struggle. 7. Persimmon. Turning the impossible into possible. What you want may seem out of reach right now. But remember, no one climbs a mountain in a single step. Every tall mountain is conquered by thousands of small steps. Persistence turns the impossible into the possible. It bridges the gap between dreams and reality and is the biggest difference between those who only wish and those who actually achieve. Part 6. Practicing mindfulness and gratitude. Have you ever noticed that in the busy rush of life we often get carried away and forget something important? To pause and truly live in the present moment, we tend to chase goals, deadlines, or things we don't yet have. And because of that, we often miss the simple but precious things around us that are already here. This is why Stop Where You Are emphasizes mindfulness and gratitude. These two practices not only help you feel more at peace, but also give you the strength to move further on your journey of starting from where you are. 1. Mindful. The art of living in the present. Mindfulness isn't something complicated. It's in simply returning your attention to the present moment. Instead of letting your mind worry about the past or drift into the future, you focus on what is happening right now. Examples. While eating, truly savor the flavors and feel each bite instead of scrolling on your phone. While walking, pay attention to your breath, the birds singing, or the feeling of the wind on your skin. While talking with someone, listen with your whole heart instead of thinking about what you would say next. Mindfulness reduces stress because you are no longer trapped in a cycle of what already happened or what hasn't to come yet. It also helps you realize that everything you need to start is already here, in this present moment. 2. Gratitude, the key to feeling enough. If mindfulness helps you live in the present, gratitude helps you see the present through positive eyes. Instead of focusing on what you're missing, gratitude shifts your attention to what you already have. You can start small. Be grateful for your health. Be grateful for a roof over your head. Be grateful for a friend or loved one who listens to you. Be grateful for the opportunity to learn something new each day. Practicing gratitude lightens your spirit and makes you feel richer emotionally. From this sense of enough, you gain the energy to take action and start without being paralyzed by the fear of, I don't have enough yet. 3. Why mindfulness and gratitude are crucial for starting where you are. Imagine you want to start a project, but your mind keeps saying, I'm not good enough, or I don't have enough resources. That anxiety pulls you out of the present and keeps you stuck. But if you practice mindfulness, you calmly notice what you do have right now. A small skill, a supportive friend, or just a bit of free time to experiment. Combined with gratitude, you realize, actually, I already have enough to start. I have more than I thought. This shift in perception gives you the confidence to move forward instead of waiting for the perfect day. 4. Simple practices you can start today. Gratitude journal. Each night before bed, write down 3 things you are grateful for that day. At first, it may feel difficult, but the more you write, the more you notice countless valuable things around you that you previously overlooked. Mindful breathing. Spend 5 minutes each day simply sitting quietly and focusing on your breath. As you inhale, acknowledge that you are inhaling. As you exhale, acknowledge that you are exhaling. This small exercise helps you regain calm, especially during stressful moments. Pause moments during the day. Whenever you feel rushed or pressured, give yourself 1 minute to pause. Look around, notice your surroundings, and remind yourself, I am here in this moment. Just 1 minute is enough to bring you back to the present. Gratitude through action. Sometimes gratitude isn't through just a thought, is in an action. Send a thank you message to a friend. Express your appreciation to a colleague or family member. These small actions not only cultivate your own gratitude, but also spread positive energy to those around you. 5. Inspirational stories. A famous study at UK Davis explored the power of gratitude. Participants were divided into 3 groups. Group 1 wrote down things they were grateful for each day. Group 2 wrote about things that bothered them. Group 3 recorded neutral events. After 10 weeks, the gratitude group not only felt happier but also healthier, less stressed, and even exercised more. This shows that gratitude truly changes how we live and act. Another story comes from Nick Vujicic, a man born without arms or legs who became an inspirational speaker to millions worldwide. His secret: gratitude. Nick once said, "If you can't have what you want, be grateful for what you do have. Then you would see that you already have enough to create something amazing." 6. A gentle read for you. You may still feel anxious about what you lack, but try this. Take a deep breath, pause, and think of one small thing you are grateful for right now. Just one thing is enough to remind you that you are not empty. Remember, mindfulness helps you fully live in the present. Gratitude helps you see abundance in simple things. Combined, they show you that you don't need to wait any longer. You already have enough to start, and you can start right now. Part 7. Real-life stories. In the previous sections, we've talked about foundational mindset, step-by-step action, the power of perseverance, mindfulness, and gratitude. Now, to bring this to life, let's look at how famous people around the world apply the principle of start where you are and achieve success. Oprah Winfrey, from a difficult childhood to a media empire. Oprah was born into poverty and grew up facing tremendous challenges: violence, deprivation, abandonment, and having to be independent at a very young age. Instead of letting her circumstances defeat her, Oprah started where she was with her voice, communication, skills, and passion for media. She joined radio and TV programs as a young girl, gradually learning skills, expanding her network, and persistently pursuing her dream. Today, Oprah is a global media icon with a hit TV show, her own production company, and countless social projects. Lesson: no matter how tough your starting point, beginning with what you have and persistently taking small steps can completely transform your life. J.K. Rowling, from unemployed single mom to Harry Potter author. Before becoming a world-famous author, Rowling was a single mom living on welfare. She began writing Harry Potter in a small cafe with just a pen and paper while her daughter slept nearby. Her manuscript was rejected by multiple publishers, but Rowling persisted, sending it out, revising it, and believing in her story. The result: Harry Potter became the best-selling book series in history, launching a remarkable career and global influence. Lesson: you don't need to be perfect. Start with what you have, persevere, and never give up. Elon Musk, from small ideas to a tech empire. Elon Musk was born in South Africa and faced a challenging childhood, starting with very few resources. When he moved to the US, he launched a small software company and sold it for a few $1 million. Despite multiple failures with Tesla and SpaceX, Musk persisted with his long-term vision, creating mass-market electric cars and making humanity a multiplanetary species. Today, Tesla and SpaceX are redefining the automotive and space industries. Lesson: starting small and persisting with a big vision can turn seemingly impossible dreams into reality. Right. Steve Jobs, from a garage to global innovation. Steve Jobs started Apple in his parents' garage with almost no capital. He and Steve Wozniak built computers from available parts, continuously experimenting and learning from failures. When Jobs was fired from Apple, he didn't quit. He founded NXT and P-Stein, then returned to Apple to create the iPhone and iPad, revolutionizing the tech industry. Lesson: limited resources don't block creativity. Start with what you have and persist, and results can change the world. Malala Yousafzai, from young girl to global education icon. Malala was born in Pakistan, where many girls were denied education. She started speaking out through small steps, blogging about the right to education, and sharing her story with the international community. Despite being attacked and threatened, Malala persisted with her mission for girls' education. The result: Malala became the youngest ever Nobel Peace Prize laureate, inspiring millions worldwide. Lesson: start small, hold on to your belief, and persist. You can change the world. Common path to success. Looking at these stories, we can summarize 4 stages of success for famous people. Humble beginnings. Oprah with a school microphone. Rowling in a cafe. Jobs in a garage. Malala blogging. Persistence and repetition. They kept going despite rejection, failure, or difficulty. Learning and adjusting. Continuously gaining skills, experimenting and improving. Compound effect. Small steps accumulated into great results, transforming ordinary people into global icons. This is a vivid illustration of the start where you are principle. Their stories show you don't need to be perfect to start. Persistence is the key. Mindfulness and gratitude help maintain balance and motivation. Small consistent actions lead to big results. Looking at them, you realize you too can start from where you are and move towards something extraordinary. Take action now. You've heard the stories and you understand the principles. Start where you are, persist step by step, and live with mindfulness and gratitude. Now, it's time to act. Pause for a moment and look around. You might think you are not ready, lacking skills, time, or resources. But the truth is, you already have everything you need to start today. Every small step, every humble action is a building block for your success. Take inspiration from the famous. Oprah Winfrey started with a difficult childhood but turned her voice into a global media empire. J.K. Rowling wrote Harry Potter in a cafe, faced dozens of rejections but never gave up. Elon Musk and Steve Jobs started in small garages, failed many times yet achieved world-changing innovations. Malala Yousafzai fought for education despite danger, becoming a global icon. Common thread: they started with what they had, took imperfect steps, and persisted. If they could do it, so can you. So today, I want you to identify one small thing you could do today. Just one step, but a definite one. Commit to persist each day, even if it's only 5 to 10 minutes. Let small actions accumulate into big results. Practice mindfulness and gratitude to stay calm, feel enough, and maintain long-term motivation. Therein, no more time to wait, no more reason to wait for perfect conditions. Start where you are, right now, today. One small step today can change your year, even your life. Let today be a turning point. Stand up, take action, and create the change you've been dreaming of. Remember, every great success begins with a small action, a single decision, right now. Start today and see how far you can go. Your journey begins now. Don't wait another moment. Thanks for watching the video. If you found this content helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos. BookSnack is your go-to place for short and enjoyable book summaries. Got a book you go like us to cover next? Drop the title in the comments below. I will be reading all of them and picking the most requested ones. Thanks again for tuning in, and I will see you in the next video.